Hello!
Welcome back to Peak Millennial.
Welcome back to the Peak Millennial Podcast.
It has been many moons since you've last heard from us, probably, maybe, I don't know. When do we upload these? I don't remember.
We have a podcast?
We're recording.
What?
How have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been good, man. Every time you ask me what I've been up to, I forget everything that I've ever been up to ever in my life. And it's just like, I sit around all day. Been chilling, man, you know? Bit of this, bit of that. You know, I've been busting some mama jams on the old guitar. Man, you know, apart from that, just, you know, chilling out, seeing some friends, watching some anime with pals, like all that good stuff. What about you, pal? What's been going on?
You know, just been working with Louis through, you know.
Working with King Louis.
You know, well, there's other stuff that, I was texting you about how I've got to be very careful about what I talk about on the podcast, but also, like, now I have to redact my previous statement about dating someone in your workplace. I'm not dating someone from my workplace.
You got so mad when I used that as an example. You were like, "Don't you dare ever date somebody in the workplace."
Look,
how could you? So you told me, you texted me briefly about this. Text me what's going on, because you said a really weird thing.
I fancy this person only because of proximity, and that is genuine.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's just like, he's near me, so I'm like, okay, you know?
No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Have you never fancied someone just because they sit near you?
No!
Oh.
What the fuck is that? Because they're sat near you.
Sometimes I get bored, so I'm like, ooh, I fancy this person. I don't know.
What's got our life together be?
He's very generic looking, very much my type when it comes to boys, you know. Right. So like, and like,
he's attractive. It's not just because he's like fucking sat next to you.
I don't know what it is. It's just he sits near me, and I don't know what it is.
What does that mean? What do you mean? He sit, you know, just the way he sits there really gets me on.
I haven't really spoken to him that much, like a little bit, but not much.
Oh, so he's mysterious.
I just don't know. Like, I think it's just I'm like bored and there's no one to fancy who's like super attractive. So I just
need someone to fancy. Or I just need someone to.
I genuinely think I'm just like. It's just like a form of entertainment to just like be like, ooh, you know.
And you can't go over King Louis because he's like wedded or whatever. Is he wedded?
That's who I've been talking about this whole time, actually.
Oh.
Yes. No, I'm kidding.
Sitting next to you.
Imagine what a plot twist.
I'm like a child when I do the podcast. I just start putting shit in my mouth.
You've always been like a child.
I start eating stuff like it's on my desk.
It's just because you can't focus on one thing for that long.
I'm listening to Purple Rain right now as we record the podcast. I can't. You're right. There's something wrong with me, man.
ADHD. I think it's undiagnosed ADHD, to be honest. Yeah, I've always thought this about you, though, because every time we have a conversation, you always randomly sing or like do something else or think about something else. You just can't focus on one thing.
I'm efficient. There's not enough time in the life, so I just need to make the most of it by doing loads of different things.
Okay, if you insist.
That's what it is. Questions, baby. First one hath no update, so we're just gonna have to take it as it. It's deleted. Never mind. And just give us a question. It got deleted.
Oh shit! I was gonna be like, can I make my own update? Can I make it up?
Can you make your own? No, you can't make shit up. What? You do this to Peak Millennial Podcast. We've been nothing but honest to these people. Hello, Peak Millennial Podcast listeners. Welcome to the segment that we like to call. We like to call it
from the internet.
Yes. Question from Kfee. We like to call it Kfee.
Kfee, yeah.
Questions from the internet, where we get questions from the internet, would you believe it, about relationships, often like sticky situations that people have gotten themselves in. And we just, we have a chat. What would we do in said situation? Because, life isn't always black or white. It's a bit hard. You know what I mean? You gotta wriggle yourself out of some holes once in a while. And it helps if you have two very beautiful millennial generation podcasters that can help you with such problems. And I mean, if you wanted to submit your own viewer submitted problems anonymously that you would like some advice on, you could email peakmillennial@gmail.com so we can get rid of questions from the internet and make it questions from our lovely Peak Millennial listeners.
Yeah, which
And
will
we can
be.
evolve together. Like
What would that be? Question
caterpillar.
from. Let me. Oh,
Question from.
I don't know. Something like that.
We'll make something up. We'll figure it out when the time
figure it out.
comes. But that's our segment. Let's dive into this segment. What have you got, Angela? What have you got?
So, the title of this is How Will I Ever Move On? So this is, I'm going to warn you all in advance, all the listeners. This is quite a deep one. Something that I feel strongly about, so I'm going to talk about it.
This is like that Michael Bolton song that I really like. It was like, how am I supposed to live without you?
Yeah.
Know that I believe you go. I love Michael Bolton. Can we get him on a podcast?
Yes, I hope so.
Do you know Michael Bolton too?
No, I don't. But
bro, he'd be up for it.
Oh, I'll ask him if I ever meet him.
He would totally be up for it. I reckon he's a baller.
All right, let's see the question.
Okay.
Let me clear my throat.
Sorry, I'm ready.
Okay. So it says, this question is less to do with the current relationship, but it is a love-related problem that is really affecting me and making me utterly miserable. I've noticed when that already fucked up. Only 2 lines in, already fucked up.
it.
Okay. I've noticed that when I am very attracted to someone, it is what is fucking dyslexia?
What's wrong with you, man? Come on.
I don't know what's wrong with me today. Okay. I've noticed that when I'm very attracted to someone, it is like I am only attracted to that one person. I cannot look at anyone else because I am literally only attracted to this one human being and nobody else interests me physically whatsoever. Not celebrities, not porn stars, nobody. This is lovely and not a problem when I'm in a relationship with that person, or there is a degree of romantic hope, but it has made it really, really difficult to move on when it ends. It has been a year since we broke up and I'm still madly attracted to my ex. Let's call him R. I saw him for the first time when he performed on stage at an event I was attending, and I knew instantly that I wanted to be with him. It was indescribable. We were not compatible at all and drove each other mad over the course of our 9-month relationship.
Oh, Jesus.
The breakup was not a mutual decision. It was ours decision. And although he has dated a few people since then, I have not had any genuine interest in anyone. He is all I can think about. This breaks my heart because even now, whenever a guy shows interest, I have to turn him down because my heart aches for my ex.
My heart aches.
Is simply always on my mind.
Michael Bolton. My heart aches. My heart aches for my ex.
Shut up. Okay. I felt this way about 3 people in total, R being the one I actually had a relationship with. The other 2 experiences were long-term crush on a friend's brother A. This was much more innocent and juvenile, and there was no hope of us ever actually dating, but the crush lasted around 10 years, and it was my first experience of all-consuming attraction.
God damn, 10 years.
I know.
Fuck me.
Long time.
How old is this person?
I don't have the attention span to like someone for more than like a year.
God damn. 10 fucking years.
10 years. That's a long time. Okay, and a complicated thing in bunny commas with my old best friend D, lasting around 8 years. We never dated, but we did have a number of romantic/sexual encounters.
DA.
As an aside, I just want to point out one thing. I know some say that if you get along well with someone and show willing, is that a thing? Okay.
You show Willy.
The attraction will eventually grow. M, my first boyfriend out of a total 2, was actually not someone I was particularly attracted to. I could see that M was conventionally attractive, but I was not that into him physically. However, we got on really well emotionally and he pursued me hard for a year, and I really wanted to give him a chance, so we started dating. The relationship ended, causing me a lot of stress and resentment because there was no chemistry between us, and I just really wasn't into M, no matter how nice he was, and no matter how I could see that he was a lovely person and an ideal boyfriend. As a result of this experience, I really do not want to date anyone who I'm not really attracted to for the sake of giving them a chance. I hope this does not sound conceited. Other people seem to find potential partners with all the relationship criteria, the criteria being 1, someone they're attracted to, 2, who is also attracted to them, and 3 is compatible personality-wise. I've only ever been able to find people who meet 2 out of the 3 criteria, and I don't understand why. I don't find myself attracted to conventionally attractive guys, so it's not a case of me expecting someone who looks like a movie star to date me. Anyway, because I have pretty much never gotten over any of them, especially R, because we actually had a genuine relationship and there was real love there, I'm absolutely terrified that there's no romantic future for me because me finding someone attractive is just so rare. I'm scared I'm doomed to live my life having never experienced true love because I'm still hung up on my ex and cannot find anyone new. I've been on dates with people who seem lovely and gone home in tears because there was simply nothing there. I feel so sad and empty. I hate hookup culture and I just want one person. This is making me so depressed. What should I do / be doing? Please help if you can.
I think we should give this person a name. I don't like how we always answer these questions and we don't know what people are called. Let's call her Cindy.
Cindy, okay.
She's from a small town in Texas.
Okay.
She's only ever really loved one man. Cindy, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't understand a fucking word Cindy's saying.
What
Cindy,
do you mean?
she's hung up on her ex and now she's crying about it.
Yeah.
Fucking get over it, Cindy. You're a strong woman. You've probably got a lot of good shit going for you. Go out there, get some ass, get in the town down in Texas, High Street. I'm sure there's a bunch of fine, like, guys with beards and pickup trucks. You know, get around the block a bit, see what's going on. Maybe you are meant to be alone. But that's okay.
All right, next question. No, come on, like, I completely get this. I've been in this situation. I know people who are currently in this situation. You know, that's kind of why I'm doing this partly as well, because it will also help them.
Yeah, but you're saying it as in like she's hung up over her ex, but she's saying she will only find her ex attractive for the rest of her life and nobody else will.
Yeah, I think the problem with this is that she can only see herself being attracted to this one person.
Yeah.
Right? But like there are, 7 billion people on the planet and whatever. You're gonna come across someone who you fancy and who fancies you. That's just that's just statistics. I think it is difficult when you're not interested in the whole like hookup culture kind of thing, because I get that. Like, I think I'm kind of in the same mindset at the moment where I'm not willing to settle for anything less than I like someone, they like me, and we want to be together romantically. Do you know what I mean?
I get that. Yeah.
And I think some people can be satisfied with, not satisfied, it's the wrong way of saying that. It sounds like I will accept this and that's okay.
No, satisfied is fine.
Yeah, but what I mean is like some people like that kind of thing where they don't want anything serious and at a time in their life or whatever. Yeah. That's, each to their own. But I think it is difficult when you think I'm not attracted to that many people and then I don't feel like I will find someone attractive again after this person. But the thing is that I think everything just takes time. And to be honest, if they're still hung up on this person or their ex or whatever because they had this great love, like, I also kind of think, look again. Like, you said we weren't compatible. Like people always look back on things like with rose-tinted glasses when they enter someone. They're always like, oh, maybe we were perfect together. But actually, like, none of those reasons that you broke up signify to me that you should be together still. So, like, I've heard of people, break up with someone because they live far away from each other, and that's not something that can be resolved in that moment. So they break up. But then in the future, say if they did live in the same place, they could get back together because that was the only reason they broke up. You know what I mean? Whereas this is like they weren't compatible. That's not a reason to stay with someone, or get back together with someone or anything.
You think this is a recent breakup? Did she say if it was recent?
Oh, it's been a year since they broke up.
Oh, Cindy, what are you doing to yourself, my love? Come on.
A year? That's a long time.
You're killing yourself, woman. No, but she had a crush for 10 years. 10 years.
14 to 24. 24 is still young.
If you're 24, Cindy, you got to get over it, man. You got a life to live. Get out of Texas. Go and see the world.
Yeah. What do you think, Gio? What's your advice?
I think Cindy's broken up. Maybe she doesn't have many friends. And she's doing that thing where you scroll on Facebook all the time. And she's seeing pictures of, what's his name? His name M. Was his name M, the proper guy? The proper guy?
I think it was R.
We'll call him Rick.
Okay, Rick.
You're seeing pics of Rick with his six-pack out and his dick root showing. And you're like, man, I really miss Rick's dick.
I think, honestly, that there's like a moment that happens where you get over your ex and you're like, oh God, why was I so attracted to you? Do you know what I mean?
You think it's a moment? Well, for you, it's a moment.
Yeah. I think something like clicked in my head one day where I was like, my sort of main ex, there was a time, I thought I was literally never going to get over him.
Everyone's had that feeling.
Yeah. And then I just sort of woke up one day and was like, don't feel that way anymore. And I don't think, okay, I say it like it was an instant thing, but I think it's gradually like I would forget stuff about him and realize that he wasn't this person that I put on a pedestal, which is, I think, what Cindy has done, you know? I think she's put Rick on this really high pedestal, being like, I will never find someone who fits all of these things again. But I think it's like you can't even try and like someone until you let someone go. But then I guess that's the point. How do you let someone go?
It's a strange problem that she has where she says she can only like find this one person attractive at a time, which, is fair. I guess, people feel like that.
I kind of feel like that. I'm really into someone. If I'm dating someone, I can be around other people who I can recognize are attractive, but I don't.
But she's saying she can't even do that.
No, she can. She's saying that. She's saying that she like understands that they're celebrities and they're attractive or whatever, but she doesn't find them attractive. I think I'm kind of like this, in a way. Did I write this question? No, I'm just...
Was this me 10 years ago? I don't know if She's saying that she can find people good looking, but she's not attracted to them.
Yeah, I think
I'm confused.
So if she goes on dates with people, she's like, I recognize that they are a good looking person, but she goes on a date with them and she doesn't feel any attraction to them.
I see. Yeah, I'm like that. Yeah, totally. Sure. When you, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are like that. That's chill. But like, man, you gotta stop looking at them dick root pictures. You gotta get off of Facebook, man. Like,
yeah. Honestly, cleansing an ex from all social media is the most helpful thing.
You don't remember the bad shit, yeah? Well, you do remember the bad shit, and you gotta put yourself back into that. I mean, what are you gonna do?
She said, right. I mean, firstly, she said, I saw him for the first time and he performed on stage. I was like, that's a weird way.
He's a musician.
And then it says,
what if it's Michael Bolton?
Oh my God.
My God.
Cindy says in this question, I just reread it. Cindy says, we were not compatible at all and drove each other mad over the course of our 9-month relationship. Right?
Right.
Surely it is better to be alone than being in a bad relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Surely it's better to be with no one than with someone who drives you crazy for 9 months. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Like, you could be much happier by yourself without someone who makes you feel like crap. You know what I mean? Like, some people just want to be in a relationship for the sake of being with anyone.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And I think
that's what Cindy's feeling.
I blame the media.
Cindy's a strong woman. She can get over this. Once she goes over, it's just she's been in 2 other relationships, right? Oh, but they weren't proper ones, were they? So one of them like was a crush. What did she say the other one was? Like she blew a guy or something? What was it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, she fucking blew a dude like 2 years ago, whatever. And this is like a first relationship. It's probably a proper one. 9 months would have been the longest because yeah. So the longest relationship, and she's like, how can I ever love again? But I think part of when you break up with someone is you got to recognize that there is no like one person meant to be for you.
Yeah,
because that's not like what are you playing at. We're not living in a strange. This is no strange fantasy film. Like, what are you doing?
Also, it's just statistically impossible.
Like, there's going to be millions of people out there that are perfect for you.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, did she say she wants to get into another? She's just worried, right? She's just worried that she'll never love again.
I think.
We'll love again, Cindy.
How will I ever move on?
You'll be all right, gal.
I just think. I mean, because I was like, time heals all wounds, but a year is a long time. But
yeah, man. She's got to go on got to go to Bali, do what white girls do.
Honestly, I think this is deeper than you like this person. I think this person she can't move on because there's something else. Like, she's not happy with being by herself. Kind of what you talked about in another podcast episode where you were like, I want to be the person that I would date.
Sure.
And I think it's like, if you're in that mentality of like, like this person, I'll never find anything better than that. And it's like, she's accepting that someone who drove her mad for not, you know what I mean? Like, kind of accept, everyone deserves someone who wants to be in a relationship with them. That's just bottom line. Everyone deserves to be in a relationship with someone who wants to be in a relationship with them. That's at the base of anything, surely.
You got to be fine, Cindy. You got to rediscover yourself.
Yeah.
Every time I say it, delete Facebook, fuck Facebook, join the gym.
I just think, you got to take some time and stop. Don't even try and date. I think that's what I'd say. Don't even date.
Stop thinking about relationships.
Stop thinking about it. Don't have it in the forefront of your brain, and just focus on yourself. Chill out.
Yeah, but it's easy for us to say, because what if she's like older?
What do you mean?
What if she's older? She's like 34, and she's like, man, I need to, she was starting to panic about her life or some shit. Go
on Amazon, find a mail order bride. Bride.
Get one of those Russian wives that work so well for Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. She is now the first lady,
There you go. There you go.
You never know. No. In all seriousness, are we ever serious on this podcast? Anyone who's in this situation, because I think I know a few people who are in this situation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think, firstly, cut off any kind of contact or, seeing them on social media and all that kind of stuff, and try and stop yourself from checking their social media. I will admit, I've checked X's social media.
Sure.
Like recently as well. More recently than I care to admit. But, basically, breakups are hard because it's like they die in your life, right? Because suddenly you go from talking to this person, seeing them every day, and then suddenly they're gone, and it's almost like they've died, to you at least. It sounds super dramatic, but it is kind of true. And I think at that point, at the point that this person is talking about, they are not ready to be in a relationship again. 100%.
No.
So
you've got to find someone else hot, Cindy. Someone else is going to be there.
Yeah. And I think as well, when you do find yourself being attracted to other people, you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I never thought I was going to get over that person.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh my God, there's so many.
And the thing is I think because she's been in relationships before, she's probably like, I'm never going to find anyone attractive again because and this person was. But I think everyone has that person that really flips it for them, that they're like, oh my God, they are the person that I'm going to be with. And then when that's done, it can be really hard to get over, even if you have been with other people before. But I think it's very tough, but get some therapy.
This is the problem that in Cindy's mind, she thinks is like a definite, I guess in her head, it's like when you break your leg.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, no, maybe it's not. What am I trying to say here? In her head, it's this definite thing that can't be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's a definite thing that can't be fixed. It's something that some self-reflection and some time will, enlighten you on.
Yeah.
That's a strange way of thinking about things.
Yeah.
Go meet some fellas, Cindy. Not to hookups, not on a bang basis.
I think people try and force themselves to get over someone as well, which slows down the process. Ironically, you will force yourself and try and speed things up by dating as many people as you can, but you don't give yourself then time to breathe and get over it.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it hinders you as well. That's why you should just not date for a while. She said she's had to turn people down because she's not over her ex, but it's
just turning the men down, Cindy. You got it going on.
Exactly. This is, what really upsets me about questions like this, or when I know people like this, is that when people can't see their own worth.
Sure.
Where it's I'm sure Cindy is a lovely woman.
Oh, she's hot in my head. I'll tell you that.
She's so hot in my head, and I'm like, you know what? Come to the Lebanese side.
Oh, Cindy, get your passport. All right, next question. Cindy, you got to be fine, love.
We didn't really give any solid advice.
Yeah, we did. We said take some time for self-reflection, and we gave her some advice on her mental space and how she's thinking about the situation.
Yeah, that's true. Basically, it's just you will love again, but maybe it will take some time. But I also think when it's not in the forefront of your mind, that you're so actively pursuing, maybe that's when it will happen.
Maybe, Cindy, maybe you don't need to love again.
Yeah. Maybe you need to love yourself. Maybe that'll be your great love.
Maybe you need to buy 14 cats and take solace in their company.
Okay, you're not helping, Gio. But
what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Cat love is real love.
Turn to your friends, I think, as well, for a little bit of support on this.
Or you could get one dog, which would show you as much love as 14
cats. That's so true. Get a dog. Definitely get a dog. Can I come and see your dog, Cindy?
Next question. Alrighty. My 26-year-old female fiance, so her fiance, 28-year-old male's ex, Yeah, man, I'm already
Wait.
fucking confused. Sweet Lord, this is too many things. My fiance's ex-wife has cancer.
Oh, right.
This is a straight couple, so this is a lady. My fiance's ex-wife has cancer. He's moved in with her and postponed our wedding.
What?
Don't you want me?
Christ. Okay, go on.
Apologies for length. All right, then you worry. This is all the names are in quotation marks. They're made up names, which I like better because I like knowing people for names.
Okay.
Max and I dated for 2 years and have been engaged for 9 months, with the wedding date set for early January. We have a healthy, honest relationship, and I've never had any reason to doubt him. He and Caroline, fucking Carol, were high school sweethearts who married very young. They married very young, whole lot. They were both 22, right out of college. They divorced after 2 years. Rip. Max told me that they had got married too quickly, and he didn't realize how different their relationship would be in the real world, i.e., when they were both working full-time jobs and struggling to pay the rent. They split up on good terms, but they didn't keep in touch. They did not keep in touch. He remained in our home city when she pursued a modeling career and began traveling extensively. Oh, she's a model. 3 months ago, Caroline contacted Max over Facebook out of the blue. This is why I delete Facebook. Saying she was in town and wanted to meet for coffee. He agreed. Over coffee, she told him that she had recently been diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Her odds of survival were low, but she was determined to fight it through surgery and chemo. She said that all she wanted was for Max to be by her side throughout her treatment. Caroline's parents died shortly after she married Max. She has no siblings, and the rest of her family lives overseas. She described Max as the closest thing to family she has left.
Right.
I absolutely sympathize with Caroline. The next day, Max had her over to our apartment, and she was completely lovely, clearly trying very hard to be optimistic, even in the face of her life potentially ending before she turns 30. I feel terrible for her and for the situation that she's in, and I fully supported Max being there for her. Her first surgery was later that month. Max flew across the country. We live on the East Coast. She is on the West Coast, and checked into a hotel a few minutes from her apartment. He's a writer, so working from his laptop was no issue. We spoke on the phone or on Skype almost every day for the 2 weeks he was over there. Caroline had her surgery at the beginning of June. Unfortunately, it was not entirely successful. Her doctors moved to the next method, chemo. Max came home after the surgery to tell me this. He explained that Caroline's treatment plan was set to begin in July and end in late January. It would be an incredibly difficult time period for her, and she wanted him with her at all times. We can't afford to pay for a hotel until January, so he moved into her apartment, sleeping on her sofa. He's been there for the past month, and we continue to Skype, though only a couple of times a week now. We spoke yesterday. Max gently told me that based on Caroline's condition, he wouldn't feel right leaving her so close to the end of her treatment. He'd like for us to postpone the wedding until February, at the very least, so he can stay with her until her treatment is over. I'm so conflicted. I feel awful for resenting Caroline at all. She has cancer. She's suffering immensely, but the resentment is still there. I resent her for needing Max constantly holding her hand, as though she has absolutely no friends of her own. I resent Max too for agreeing to the situation. We won't be seeing each other in person for months now, on top of our wedding being postponed. I don't know what to do. I have no idea how I'm supposed to feel. Right now, I'm just full of anger and guilt, and I don't know how to explain it to anyone else in my life. Let's give you a too long didn't listen. Fiancé has moved in with his ex-wife to support her during chemo, postponing our wedding as a result. Am I wrong to feel resentful? Is there a better way of handling this?
Woo! Yowza.
Hot damn.
Holy.
When you bring the big questions to peak millennial.
Shitballs. Wow, fuck.
I know, right? In a second, I process that.
Ooh, let's just take a breather. If you're listening to this, just go and make yourself a cup of tea and mull over what you've just heard.
Let's grab yourself some Red Bush.
Yeah,
I like my woman like I like my tea, Anj. Hot.
That was so bad. It's just such a bad joke. Anyway, yes. Firstly, you're not terrible for resenting this woman. As I was listening to it, I was like, oh, fucking balls.
What a sitch, eh? Because you don't want to sound like a cunt, but you want to tell Caroline to fuck off.
Yeah, I'd tell Caroline to fuck. You know what? I bet
even though she's dying.
I bet she's not dying. I bet this is all a ploy to get him back.
Oh, you can't accuse someone. Oh, that's cold, man. You can't say that.
Look, maybe I'm a cold bitch. All
can't say that.
Yes, I can, and I did.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, that's only because I've been watching too many sitcoms and dramas. So actually, we're in the real world. This woman is probably very ill. You know what? I just think, because it is one of those things where, like, she doesn't have any family and they've known each other for so long and all this kind of stuff. It's hard to be this woman in this scenario. I give everyone in this situation complete sympathy.
Yeah, man.
But, you know, I mean, I just, you know, I literally, I don't know how to say it except this woman might die very soon. Then, you know, after that, okay, this is the thing.
Wow.
Right?
You're saying wait her out?
Yeah.
You're saying it's a war of attrition? Hot damn.
No, that is horrible. Oh, God. This question has ruined me.
What if she doesn't hit the bucket? What then?
Kick the bucket, not hit the bucket.
That's what I said. What if she doesn't eat the bucket?
Oh, my God. I actually don't know how to process this. What do you think? Like, because I literally, like my brain is just like blue screened and I don't know what to think.
It's a spicy situation because you want to say all these things, but you can't say them because Caroline has stage 4 cancer. Look, end of the day, you got to tell Caroline, fuck off.
Wow.
What happens when what happens if she gets better? Then she's going to be, you know.
This is what I'm saying.
She's not going to be completely okay and be like, cheers for that, go home now. You know what I mean?
This is the thing. I also think, right, it is a bit weird, you know, the whole East Coast, West Coast thing. So, like, now he's moved away for, like, months to live with this woman. And I'm sorry, but, like, you know, people say feelings go away. I don't think feelings like that. If it was something that you loved so much, you decided to get married, I don't think you could ever, after that, stay platonically in someone's house and nothing happens, right? From July to January, there's got to be at least one point where you're like, oh, maybe we should.
Bedroom doors open. Caroline's looking Carol fine. Maybe I should get in there and figure out what's going on.
Oh my God, this has ruined me. Can you give me what some of the other people said so I know what to say?
So you know what to say?
Yeah.
No, tell me what you would do.
What I would do is probably not what she should do. What I would do is I'd probably just say nothing, grin and bear it until, you know, the wedding and put up with it. But I don't think
there's no wedding. What if he falls in love with Caroline?
This is the thing. I think he's
Caroline. He's fucking dead.
Sometimes I think maybe it's the right decision to bow out and recognize that these two people have a connection that they don't understand.
To bow out? What?
Bow out, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
To fold their hand and let them get it on?
Yeah.
But she was about to get married.
Look.
I didn't care about her before she was dying.
Yeah, but some stuff like this, situations like that, make you really reevaluate things and think maybe, shit, I do love this person. I don't want to lose them or whatever. And then she'll die, and then you can see what happens.
Sticky sitch, man.
It's incredibly sticky.
She can't move. I mean, I would say, like, move over there with them and just be like, yeah, we're both living in it now. Deal with it. But if her job can't let her move, then, you know.
Thing.
Yeah, but if her job can't let her move, then she can't move over there. Like,
that's what I mean. Bow out. Take the quit while you're ahead.
You think let them be together and get out of there?
Yep.
But she's about to get married. This is the strongest feelings that no one's ever felt for another person. Is we're about to get married and commit the rest of our lives together, and you're saying, fuck it.
No, did I say it was easy? No. But is it what I would do in that situation? Probably.
You can't bow out. No. Nobody has the balls and the courage to bow out.
What would you do then?
You got to be like, yo, you got to get your fucking ass back here at some point.
Yeah, I do also, I'm not going to lie, I think bowing out is also a little bit the coward's way out because, and that is what I do because I am a coward. But, like, you know, because it's more, that's like a preventative, I don't want to get hurt in this scenario, so I'm going to leave it.
The updates actually kind of relevant because I was going to say, like, you know, get the dude to fly back, you know, fly over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But I'll read you the
Okay.
I'll read you the reply. So the main big reply, he's intending on living with his ex until February, and you're going to do what? Just wait? No, your resentment and discomfort is not wrong. I feel intense sympathy for her, for your partner, absolutely. Death is a terrifyingly cold thing, but he's supposed to be with you. It's not her right to ask him to be with her as a husband is through this horror. As a husband. Yeah, I read that right.
Mm-hmm.
In brackets, she said, did she ask you? My fear is, okay, so February comes, chemo's done. Now she's weak and miserable from chemo. Is he going to leave her then, feeling like that? He should not have asked you over Skype. He should have been there in person. When is the next time you are supposed to see him?
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess one person, said about plane tickets or some shit, and she says, we're not in a bad place financially, but we couldn't afford a plane ticket every month. We've been trying to save up to buy a house after the wedding, not to mention the cost of the wedding itself. So you got to pay for a wedding, to be fair.
Yeah, that's very true.
If it ever happens now.
Yeah, I think that is the thing, is that it's like, actually, it is very unfair of this woman to ask him to do all these things because it's not her husband anymore.
Yeah, man.
But I understand why she did, because, she's dying. But, like, I also think, hear me out, I don't think this is an excuse to be a dick. I don't think dying is an excuse to be a dick and call up your ex-husband,
who
you haven't even seen in years, right?
If we were single, it'd be a different
engaged
thing.
To someone else, yeah. But, like, he's got other responsibilities, and you've basically asked him to abandon them for 6 months to be with you. Not with you in the romantical sense, in a physical sense. Oh, no, not physical sense, like a literal sense.
Dude's planning his wedding, man.
Yeah, like, I think it's... But I guess if there's any time to be selfish, it is when you're dying. I don't know. I don't know, Gio. Oh. Okay, hit me with an update.
I'll give you more responses, because the responses is actually pretty juicy on this one.
Okay.
There's one person that replied that says, "You have the right to resent Max. He's picked his ex-wife over his fiancée.
Yeah.
He may feel like he has a responsibility to her, but he has a responsibility to his future wife.
This is very true.
He is asking you to put your life on hold for his ex-wife. You absolutely have the right to feel angry about this, and you see yourself marrying him after this." And the person replied, the original poster replied, "Honestly, I don't know. Part of me feels like I should admire him, as in, oh, look how selfless he's being for her. But the other part is thinking, but what about me?
Mm-hmm.
I want him to come home, but am I really going to demand that he leaves his dying ex-wife alone? Before he left, he said, we've got our whole lives to spend together. She might only have a year." Oh! Sweet Raptor Jesus.
Yeah. Fuck. This is Oh, Christ.
All right. You want the update?
Yes, please. Thank you for saving me from having to give any more advice.
This is the same usual shit of like thanking everyone for their replies. I spoke to Max this morning. I told him that as terrible as I feel for Caroline, I didn't want him living over there until February. I suggested that we brainstorm some sort of schedule that allowed him to come to visit her, even postponing our honeymoon and using that money to fund his plane tickets. Oh, Lord, what are you doing, love? Several commenters brought up her moving over here for treatment, so I mentioned that as well. Oh, yeah, we didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Offering up our spare bedroom. I emphasized that I didn't fault him for wanting to help an old loved one that could be in her final days, but I couldn't help but feel marginalized, especially so close to our wedding. Yeah, you're right. She could move over there. We didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Max didn't speak very much, just listened whilst I rambled on. When I couldn't think of anything else to add, I asked him to please say something. So he told me the truth. Ow, the truth.
What?
Truth will set you free. Caroline was never stage 4. She was stage 2.
What?
He is...
What? What did I say?
I don't like these questions that are
Gio,
like...
what did I say? What did I say?
I like the happy questions that are, there's a story, but it's a happy story. I don't like these ones where it's like, she was actually a man.
You called me Nick for saying that she wasn't actually dying, and look, she wasn't actually dying.
Yeah, I'd read ahead too. I knew this was going to be the thing.
Oh, bastard.
He assured me that the rest of the story is true. Caroline asking him to be with her, the initial surgery being unsuccessful, her chemo treatment plan, blah, blah, blah. But apparently her chances of survival are far greater than he led me to believe.
What the fuck? That is horrible. Why would he lie about it, though? Okay, sorry, continue.
Max said he lied because he felt it was the only... like, this is like answering your question. Max said he lied because he felt it was the only way I could understand his need to be with her. He thought that if her situation seemed less dire than literal life or death, I wouldn't agree to him essentially moving across the country for her.
Well, yeah, no shit. Anyway, sorry.
He admitted to telling me that our wedding had been postponed. Oh, wait, what? Oh, he admitted to telling her that our wedding had been postponed to next August, giving her the impression that him being away until February would be no problem. Oh, I see.
Oh, so this guy's a liar, basically.
He has also been the one insisting on remaining by her side. After her surgery, she had given him permission to return home, saying that it wouldn't be fair to pressure him into living with her throughout the entire chemo
This
treatment.
man is still in love with Caroline.
As much as she would have liked him there, he refused to leave. He told her that I supported his decision fully. Max swears that he is not in love with her still, but I just can't believe that. He lied to my face. Before she visited our apartment back in May, he warned me not to mention her being stage 4, as she was still very sensitive about it, and I completely bought into that lie. I trusted him. He put his past with her over his future with me. I'll be spending the next few months apartment hunting and cancelling wedding plans.
She broke up with good. You know what?
I don't like these questions.
I told you she wasn't dying. I did think it was going to be her who was going to be Caroline who engineered.
Yeah, but we have to think about it as if she was dying, because that should still be the topic.
That's true. But you know what? That guy's a dick. I can't believe he was do that. Man. I hope him and Caroline are happy, to be honest.
But I think that would have been the situation, is to get Caroline over to their house and then like...
Yeah, I think so. If that was possible.
Then she's got like a little family, and it's not just her ex-husband that they can make.
Yeah, and then you can kind of keep an eye on the situation as well.
Oh, sweet Lord, what a sticky sitcha!
I didn't like that at all. That made me very uncomfortable and unhappy. It's because I genuinely, obviously, because we do this podcast, I like to consider myself as being quite good with advice. Last episode, I think we were very good with the advice. Sure. And this time, that broke me.
Broke your pal.
It really did.
I mean, to be fair, she's got to break up with him after that. There's no...
Yeah, there's no way.
You can only be so understanding.
Yeah, and also the lies and him saying, like, I'm not still in love with her. It's like, but you've done everything that makes it seem like you are still in love with her.
Yeah, but even if he wasn't, what are you going to do? Wait till like 50 years later, you're telling your grandkids, oh, do you remember that time that Grandpa Jimmy moved over the country to be with his ex-wife for a year and he lied to me?
This whole situation would have been a lot better if he hadn't lied.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fuck you.
I could never steal you from another.
Fuck you, Max.
He's in some Purple Rain, old Maxi pad. Anyway, that was supposed to spur conversation onto the topic that I wanted to talk about, but the ending of that has kind of soured the segue. It soured the segue.
What's the topic, Gio? Oh,
the topic was going to be...
Topic?
I forgot what the fucking topic was. Is in my notes. Does love ever go away? And you talked about this briefly when you were talking about the stuff.
The first question.
You were talking about this. Yeah, the first question. That was it. I think it's a strange thing. So the whole I don't like to tell people that like everything is man-made and constructed, because I think it's bullshit and people can think for themselves. I really hate it when people tell me that anything is like a social construct.
But also, isn't everything a social construct? Like literally everything.
Yeah, and also there's like, I don't know, there's an insinuation that I don't know, I don't want to talk about that shit, but I'm just saying, like, I hate it when people say that, but in a way, this is a weird social construct where we've like, the relationships have to be like, you date one person, it doesn't work out, and when you're with another person, you forget about them forever, as if that thing as if you never spent those years or months of your life with that other person. And I think this is where maturity comes out in people, because I was doing a bunch of work recently, and it was about like older couples doing stuff, and they'd obviously been like married twice or whatever, but it wasn't. They still acknowledged like their past relationships. Like, there's a certain maturity to acknowledging that you spent, however many months, however many years with this other person, and it's not just that they don't. It's not that you still love them, but it's not that like it's almost like you have to hate them. You have to hate. It's like you have to hate your ex. And the way I've always felt about things was that like everything is temporary. It's only that you have to idolize your current or last. What am I trying to say here?
No, I know.
Everything is temporary, so it's not like that old relationship you had mattered any less than another one that you had. you can still have fond memories of that time, and you can still appreciate the time that you had together with that person without loving them still.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I think this is something that I've kind of been thinking about a lot recently, because I don't have a good relationship with quite a lot of my exes.
Sure.
And
well, it's different. Yeah, it's different as well. If you obviously if you have a bad relationship with your ex.
Yeah. No, as in like it was a good relationship, but then they did something after that was really horrible.
Yes.
So
you can still value that time and the happiness and the cool shit that you might have done.
I just think that the two can coexist. Both can be true. This can be someone who has done something horrible and has hurt you really, really badly, but also can be someone that you did once care about and once love very, very much, and were in, had all those lovely experiences with. It doesn't have to be this black and white, one or the other kind of thing, which I think is what the norm is, or there's a tendency to do that and be like, this person is horrible, I can't believe I ever loved him. But it's like,
yeah,
you did, and that's okay that now you don't love each other anymore, but it doesn't devalue the time that you guys spent together.
it's just
I'm talking about healthy relationships here, not like abusive relationships, because that's a whole
of course,
other kettle of
of course. We're talking like just normal relationships that people have.
Yeah.
There's a strange immaturity, which is like your ex is like this cringy. It's like this cringy concept that is not to be. If you see your ex in a supermarket, it's like, oh my fucking god, I'm gonna go hide behind a Frosties packet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you're, I think it's the whole like Love Island fucking generational shit. That is like a demonizing. We love to make people enemies, and we love to demonize people. But
I honestly think that's because it's people like to, and including myself, it's easier to categorize people like that because then it's easier to accept that you have to move on from that person.
You know what? People go fucking grow up. You can acknowledge the happy memories. You can still be like, okay, man, how's it going? Without being like,
I love you.
Yeah, without being like, I love you, or without being like, oh my god, have you seen who they're with now? What a fucking egg.
I mean, I do that. But
yeah, but
it's just like, I don't know. I think it's people do that sort of thing. People demonize their exes because it's then easier to be like, that's why we're not together anymore, right? Like
this
it's
is
like, oh, I let this great person get away.
You know what
it's actually like, oh, we're not. I don't like you anymore.
This is like R. Kelly. Nobody likes R. Kelly, and I'm on board with that. Right? He's not a nice guy. We agree?
Where are you going with this?
We can also agree that I Believe I Can Fly was a great song and a great movie. It's like,
yes,
you can separate that person with the memories of this thing. Well, not even separate that person.
Yeah, okay. I agree with what you're saying in relation to relationships. I do not agree with what you're saying in relation to R. Kelly.
You don't think I Believe I Can Fly is a good song?
Look, I don't. Okay, that's a separate thing because I don't think you can separate the art from the artist.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you can. However, in this situation with relationships, I do think that you can. It's like I said, the two both can be true. It can be someone that you now don't have feelings for anymore, but it doesn't mean that you have to hate them. You can just, I don't think, I heard somewhere, I can't remember where it was, that the opposite of the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference.
Okay.
So I think if you hate someone actively, you still care about them. Whereas when you just don't care anymore, that's the opposite of loving someone, Yeah,
I get that, sure.
People are like, I hate this person because they still are consumed with emotions for that person. And so they're trying to make them negative because that's easier to process. I wouldn't say that now, where I'm at now, I don't have any negative feelings towards my exes. Wait, no, let me rephrase. Okay, so like, for example, some of my friends, like they badmouth my exes to me because like they've done something horrible to me or whatever, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's like, but I guess that's their way of like, as friends, they feel like that's what they have to do.
And also, I've done that as well. But in my head, I'm like, look, this is someone I was very much in love with at one time. You don't have to hate on them just because they did something bad to me, or that, like, both can be true. I can, and like one of my friends, when I broke up with someone a while back, was like, oh, I never liked them anyway. And I was like, I know you did, so you don't have to lie about it.
What a strange thing to say.
Yeah. And it's like, but I know you did.
Anyway.
I know you guys got along, so you don't have to lie about it. Like,
that's a weird thing.
Yeah, I think that, obviously it's their way of trying to help me. But
sure.
I think that's the best way to go about it? No. But I think, does love ever go is an interesting
does it
thing.
ever go?
Yeah, I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, it goes, but you can still appreciate that time of your life that you had.
Yeah.
Erasing it from your memories.
I try not to see my past relationships now as like, this was a really horrible time in my life. It's more just like, it ended badly. What can I learn from that?
It's also, I guess it's kind of a weird thing where I guess if you're in a new relationship, like that person might feel uncomfortable with like you not hating your ex or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you might feel like you're putting on a show.
But you're still in love with them.
No, not you're still in love with them, but it's just like you don't hate them.
No, you know as in like the other person will think that you're still in love with your ex.
Sorry,
the new person that you're dating will think that you're still in love with your ex.
Right. So you have to,
people won't
to validate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, the implication is that, my God, they're still hung up over their ex.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Like, man, like.
I just think it doesn't have to be so black and white. You don't have to either love them, be in love with them, or hate them. You could just be like, yeah, I still care about them as a person, or like, I don't have any negative feelings towards them, but I don't have any positive ones either, Yeah,
sure, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, yeah.
There can be a middle ground, I think. It doesn't have to be so one or the other.
Yeah.
But again, I do think it's a very sort of, I think it's a very common thing to try and just categorize people by like good and bad in your life. And I'm, again, talking from my own experience. Like, I think there's definitely people where I'm like, this is a good person for me. This is a bad person for me.
Okay.
Because it's like, how do you reconcile how someone can be someone who is really, really good or has been really good for you, but is now really bad for you, or vice versa, I don't know what I mean. I think it's just a common thing to kind of categorize people because I think it's easier to deal with than people are, multidimensional and a lot more nuanced than good and bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I say, it's just like it's not an immaturity, but it's like just as people like to think of things in a more simple way.
Yeah.
Because whatever reason.
I don't think it's immaturity. I think it's easier to deal with. And I think some people don't want to have the anguish of having to process that and reconcile those two things as both being true, including me. I always feel like I have to include that when I say, oh, people do this. It's like, I'm not being accusatory because I do the same fucking thing.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I'll accuse people of
anything. You're all shitheads now.
It's our fucking podcast. To do what I want.
Is it our podcast?
What? Is it a man's podcast? Good. Louis, is it your podcast?
Or is it Spotify's podcast now?
Oh, what a segue! Or is it Spotify? Speaking of Spotify.
Hello, if you're listening to this on Spotify.
Oh my God. Let us know, please. Even if you just send us an email saying, I listened to this on Spotify. We'll love you forever. I think it's so fucking cool that our podcast is on Spotify.
It is very cool, actually. I quite enjoy it. And it wasn't even that hard. I just pressed the button.
Just push button and it worked.
Yeah,
you can download it on the go without doing like, I didn't have to be a iTunes overlord or have like YouTube Prime or whatever the fuck they sell now, so you can download videos.
Yeah.
You can just do your Spotify thing, and it's a beautiful, what a wonderful way to reach so many people.
Yeah. And maybe our audience will grow now.
That was the key. That was it.
Spotify.
Once we broke the Spotify barrier, the sky's our limit now.
Now, next, Netflix.
Next we've got a video.
Our own Netflix show.
Next we've got our studio. No. Next is the studio.
Oh, yeah.
And then we start making commutes to the studio to record it.
Yeah.
And then we get the cameras in.
Yeah.
And then
we get Louis Theroux in.
Yeah, then Louis comes on because you need a celebrity bumping figures, right?
Yeah.
And then a Netflix special.
Yeah.
Right, book before Netflix.
Book before Netflix.
Peak millennial book: How to Live Life at Your Peak.
Yeah.
How to reach PQ.
How to reach peak millennial.
There you go.
Ah, so good. So I made that much.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't like this now. It's gone too far. It's like this is like the joke last time about me having sex with everyone. I like that we do like after the podcast we do this little like wind down where we just like talking
It's
about
just like
random shit again.
aftercare. The first bit is like the BDSM, and now we've got to take care of the listener, just like reassure them that we still love them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rub their back.
You know, I'm sorry if
Give them a
that
hug.
gave any of our listeners like emotional whiplash. We talked about some very real issues. Next episode will be more lighthearted, I promise. I'll get questions from Yahoo Answers.
It was a spicy podcast. One.
Yeah, it was a deep one, I think.
Not everyone can handle the spice.
No.
And that's okay, man.
All right, my laptop is dying, so let's wrap this up.
Fuck you, people.
Listeners, oh wow, okay.
No, that was aggressive.
Listeners, if you have any relationship questions, anything at all, actually, at this point,
Anything.
I would take any questions. If you have questions about,
If you
your
want to tell us
dog.
what you had for lunch.
Yeah. Oh, please tell us what you had for lunch. I actually really care about that. I love food.
We could do a whole lunch episode.
Yeah. Just like let's do like a rogue episode where we just talk about something that's not relationships.
A rogue episode. Okay, I like that.
Email peakmillennial@gmail.com if you have anything you would like us to discuss.
Yeah.
Please look after yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Make sure to spend time with yourself.
Take care of your body and soul.
Yeah. Drink water. You know what? Reminder for anyone right now listening to this, you should drink some water. Okay?
Or some beer.
Either one is self-care.
Or beer.
Beer is always self-care. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye,
listeners. Goodbye.
Arigato.